Welcome to tonight's live Q&A. I am here with Miss CaTyra Polland, but I'm going to tell you more about her and let her introduce herself in just one moment. First things first, every Wednesday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can come and get your questions answered live. Or if you want to be like Miss CaTyra, be a part of our member spotlight, just click the link inside of the description. Also, I want this to be the number one place for parallelpreneurs online. So please invite your parallelpreneur pals, your business besties, anybody that you know that fit that description. Please invite them into this community. Do not hold all the goodness that happens over here to yourself. Also, we have our monthly community networking event that happens the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will not be hosting one in July because we're doing some revamping to that. So you may be asked to do a survey if you've attended in the past. However, we will be back up and running in August for our next monthly community event. So I hope you will register and we will see you there. So we also running our challenge currently this week. It started on Monday and it's going to end on Friday, but you still have an opportunity to join us in that challenge so that you can learn how to prospect the profit and get your next client. So make sure that you register for that if you haven't already, and we look forward to supporting you there. So without further ado, I would love to introduce and present to others Miss CaTyra Polland. Hey CaTyra, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you, hon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and being our featured member spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself personally, as well as about your business and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is CaTyra Polland. I am a Rochester, New York native. I am also an 8-time self-published author. I like to travel. I enjoy networking. I like conferences, workshops, all things business, things like that. I enjoy public speaking. So I started Love for Words, which is my editing boutique. I started that in 2017. I've been, at that for 4 years now. Just kidding. So when I started, I had a friend who's a publisher who was looking for an editor. So I did a sample edit for her and she really liked it. And she started referring me to her publishing clients. So then I decided to go ahead and launch, the editing boutique. I've always loved reading and writing. I participated in I think it's called the Book It program, where you get the free personal pan of pizza from Pizza Hut. I did that every year when I was in school.
Awesome.
And reading was mandatory, at the schools that I attended. Summer reading was mandatory. So I've always, enjoyed that. So it ties in well with things that I love. And it was just, exciting to be able to start my own business. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that and walk authors through the process, encourage them along the way, and make sure they are publishing the best manuscript possible.
Awesome, awesome. So you provide the editing for the book, or help them to tell me where clients are before they reach out to you, and then once they reach out to you and work with you, what is the result? Where do they end up?
Yeah, so clients come to me when they have finished writing their book and they're ready for it to be cleaned up, so to speak.
Okay.
My specialty, is developmental editing. So it's really big picture. So the plot, making sure the characters align, all of their traits make sense, that you're answering questions, you're not being vague in your manuscript, that you're using language that connects with your target market. So those are all the things that I'm looking for. Those are the things that I, provide suggestions about. Provide revisions, but most importantly, I provide recommendations. So one of the things that I've learned is it's important to give recommendations instead of just automatically changing what's in the manuscript. As a baby editor, I definitely just went in and started changing things. It should be this way, but along the journey, I've realized, that I'm helping them with their manuscript, but the manuscript belongs to the author. So I have transitioned from heavy revisions to a mixture of revisions and suggestions and recommendations. So instead of changing a sentence, I may put in the comments, what does this mean? Can you elaborate? This is confusing. Why is this here? Things like that, instead of automatically changing it. Because As other editors know, once you insert your words, it changes the author's book, the author's manuscript, and you don't want to change the voice of the manuscript. So when they come to me, they have a manuscript that's ready to be edited. It's written, but not necessarily ready for publishing. So I help them polish that, make sure it sounds good, it looks good, it's good to go off to a publisher. And then when they're done, they're ready to go to their publisher. They're ready for, getting their ISBN, and they're getting it up on Amazon, and, all of the other components. So I help them with that phase. But in addition to the editing, I also my clients also have access to my network. So if, for example, someone comes in and they don't have a publisher, I can connect them to a publisher. If they need an illustrator, if they need a graphic designer, if they need a formatter, that could also be a part of the service if they don't come in with their own team.
Awesome, because that was going to be my next question. So if somebody comes to you with a manuscript and you've done all the development and editing for it, and then they want to self-publish or they want to go to a publishing house, do you have people that you refer them out to that can support them to get their book in hand? So awesome. That is really, really good. Is there a certain genre that you really work to or that gravitates to your type of development and editing?
Yes, primarily nonfiction, poetry, memoirs, biographies, self-help, autobiographies, mostly, yes, nonfiction. I have edited fiction. I've edited a comic book. I've edited some novels. So I do have experience with fiction, but my specialty and preference is nonfiction.
Okay. Awesome. What makes you so passionate about the editing piece of it?
I just really love being able to encourage my clients in that writing, in the development journey to getting their manuscripts to the publishing stage. Writing a book is not necessarily easy, and unfortunately, editors get a bad rap. There are a lot of authors and writers who are afraid to work with editors because they believe that their voice will be removed. They're not ready for the critique. They're hesitant, or they're not feeling comfortable or confident in showing their writing to another person, especially not asking for feedback about their writing. So I want to be a part of closing that gap. I want to be a part of the solution and helping writers feel confident, comfortable, and encouraged. Not just telling writers what they didn't do well or what needs to be changed, but really providing a balance between this wasn't done that well, this is what I recommend, and this you have mastered already. And I think that gets lost in the editing phase because you kind of just plow through it and you're looking for all the things wrong. But for me, that's not what I like to focus on. I always enter comments in the margin saying, I really love this line. I really love this poem. You did a great job describing this character. This resonates with me. Your target market will appreciate this. All of those things matter. And I like to make sure that balance exists. The other component of me becoming an editor is really about magnifying the stories of people who look like me. I primarily work with Black female entrepreneurs here in the US who need help along the self-publishing journey. So most of my clients have their own businesses like myself, and they either want to share, more about their business, or they want to share knowledge, they want to inspire. They have, different reasons for wanting to publish a book, but I'm there to make sure that their stories are projected the way they should be. As you can imagine, if you're a Black woman writing a book and then you hand your manuscript to a white man, there's going to be a veil there. And that's not to say that it can't be done. I know there are wonderful white editors who are able to work with, Black authors, but we have to recognize that race is very important and it changes the dynamic. So for a Black female entrepreneur, would be more likely to work with me, and that's who I attract. So when I started my business, I wasn't necessarily, painting that as my target market. It's not like I went and said, this is what I want to work with. But I did kind of like an audit, and I was looking at all the clients, And it just so happened they were all Black female entrepreneurs like myself. So obviously that's my target market because that's who gravitates toward me. So I'm just excited to be able to close that gap and be here for Black authors, not just Black female authors, but Black authors who want to work with editors who may understand that cultural component. If you're going to use, Black vernacular English, or you're going to use slang and things like that, you don't want to hand it over to an editor who doesn't appreciate that, doesn't understand it, doesn't value it. And being a Black editor certainly has value to Black authors.
Awesome. So tell us how they can connect with you. If I'm a Black female entrepreneur, parallel-preneur, and hey, I'm ready to write my manuscript, get my poems out there, and I do want somebody that understands my voice, that will edify the parts that I do well and give me some suggestions for the parts that need some critiquing in a loving way.
Yes.
How can they connect with you?
Yeah, so you can visit my website, pollandllc.com. There's 2 L's in Polland. All of my social media handles and pages and links are there. But for Facebook, facebook.com/PollandLLC, Instagram, Polland LLC is my handle. And also on Twitter, it's Polland LLC. You can schedule a free 15-minute consultation on my website, polland.com. You'll see an option for consultation, so you can schedule it there, and we can have a conversation. So feel free to reach out to me. You can also email me at Polland, 2 L's in Polland, polland@pollandllc.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for getting all that information and sharing with us what makes you different, who you serve, and how the community can support you with referring clients to you, as well as following you on all the social media platforms, or getting their own free 15-minute consultation because they're ready to write their book. So in true live Q&A fashion, what question can I answer for you tonight?
Yes. How does an entrepreneur determine, or how does an entrepreneur know when it's time to expand the services that they offer or the products that they offer?
Okay, great question. So is there a reason why you're thinking that you may need to add service or expand your service offering? Tell me a little bit more about why that's coming up for you.
Yes. So when I started my business, I was primarily working with individual authors and clients. So I would like to expand to work with other businesses. So, and the reason for that is typically businesses have a budget cut out for proofreading versus an individual who may not have, a larger size budget to spend on editing or proofreading. So I would like to start exploring working with businesses, as far as editing and proofreading services go, like maybe proofreading their reports, their presentations, annual reports, semi-annual reports, things like that are really important to the organization, but they don't necessarily have an in-house proofreader. So I would like to continue to make that transition. So that's why I asked that question.
So would you continue to serve individuals as well as serve the business component?
Yes. Right now I'm doing both. I've been transitioning, so I am working with a marketing agency. I do get referrals from publishers, but again, that's still at the individual level where I'm working one-on-one with an author. I have also edited for a magazine. So with that, that would be more of a business line because they're looking for a proofreader or an editor for each issue. So I've done a little bit of it, but I want to continue to grow that and expand.
So I think you're doing the right thing. So when it comes to like adding services, expanding service, it's based on your clients and the need. So if you have been serving individuals and all of a sudden somebody's like, you know what, I have a magazine, do you do that? You test it out. Maybe you do a magazine, maybe you do a business report, maybe you do another business type of document, and test it and see if you enjoy doing that.
Right.
Before you, as I always say, hang a shingle and say, now I'm offering editorial services or editing services for businesses. So I think what you're doing is great as far as, okay, I'm getting people coming to me for this. Let me go ahead and serve these people. Check in with yourself. Are you enjoying serving those individuals?
Right.
So if you are enjoying servicing those individuals, then just like you audited your audience before to determine, okay, it was women business or women entrepreneurs, women business owners, you may, after you have served a few of these business type clients, you may see, I'm getting a lot of online magazines that need consistent editorial. So maybe now I look at a service like a retainer type service for
Right.
magazine owners,
Mhm.
or I'm getting this type of industry that's always looking for somebody to proof their reports.
Right.
So then you go after that particular industry. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, good,
Thank
good,
you.
good. Good. So to answer your question tonight, yes, it is okay to expand your services, but don't expand your services without some type of proof, right? People are coming to you, or you're seeing that, for instance, you're seeing that there is a need that you can fulfill that they need after they've completed whatever service that you may provide. And you say, well, you know what? They now need more of this. So for instance, you have the individuals that you do the editorial services for. You may not take them to publishing, but you have now gotten a network of publishers so that
Right.
you don't just give them their manuscript ready to publish and then they fall off because they still don't get it into their
Right.
physical copy into their hand because they're missing the next step. But even though you're not providing the next step, you've given them resources to continue to take them on the journey. So same thing when you're thinking about adding services. Number one, make sure that there's proof that you need to add a service. You're just not like, oh, this would be fun to do. Let's do this. No, if people are coming to you, I never say hang a shingle until you serve some of them and ensure that you enjoy the work. Right. Because we all have been there when we're like, oh, I think I want to do this. And we change the website and we change the handles and we start writing copy and doing all the things. And then we realize after we've actually got paid to do it, that I don't really like that as much. And so now you don't spend all that time revamping and now you got to go back and do it again. Right. And so as a parallelpreneur, we are limited on time. That is one of our number one struggles. So we don't want to do anything that is not worth our time. So let's just recap. How do you decide to add service or expand services? One, you need to people have to be coming to you for it. Don't just pull it out the thin air. So CaTyra, people are coming to you for these additional business services, correct?
Yes.
You are currently doing them.
Yes.
Or have done some. Are you enjoying them?
Yes.
Okay, so you've said yes. Yes, they're coming to me. Yes, I've actually provided the service. Yes, I'm enjoying it. For me, yes, it's time to hang the shingle. It's time to start marketing that aspect of your business or that service of your business in addition to the individuals.
Yes.
What other questions do you have?
How to go about collaborating with other businesses. Like if you are interested in working with them, what do you recommend for maybe someone who's maybe shy or timid about that? What options do you have?
Okay, so you want to collaborate, let's say with a magazine person, and you may be a little shy about just reaching out and saying, hey, I want to be the editor for your magazine. I say get in their space, right? Order their magazine, read their magazine, follow them on social media, start interacting with their brand, right? See if you can have an opportunity to just talk with them from a networking perspective. Not from, I want to be your editor. See if there's an opportunity for y'all to have what I call connection chats. Hey, I've been reading your magazine or subscribed to your magazine for a while. I enjoyed this article about this, or I'm really enjoying, your various features, this and this. I would love to learn a little bit more about you personally, as well as your business. Jump on a call, really take interest in who they are. They'll share about their business, which gives you the opportunity to do the same. So once they find that out and you say, yes, I edit for individual business owners that's looking to self-publish, and I also do it for businesses, whether they have magazines or they have this. If you know someone that may be interested in that, please refer them to me or connect them to me. They may even go ahead and self-select. I've been looking for that, or I don't have one, or I have one that I'm not happy with. How can we talk about your services?
That's definitely helpful. Thank you, for sure.
Yes. Do you feel you've gotten clear this evening?
Yes, thank you.
Do you feel you're confident to move forward with adding the additional service and making the connection with those business owners?
Yes, I do.
Do you think now that you're clear and confident, you can get the cash and God can get the glory?
Yes, absolutely.
I've done my job. Yes, yes, yes. Also, if anybody's watching, please say hello to us in the comments. Drop your question so I can make sure that I answer it for you. CaTyra, anything else you want to share with us before you leave? You've been in this community probably since the revamp. How are you enjoying the community? Or is there any way we can support you beyond getting that 15-minute consultation if we are looking to self-publish or, following you on the social media platforms?
For sure. For those of you who just want to like an introduction to what editing consists of, the different types of editing, what to expect, what not to expect, I do have a free ebook available on my website. It's pollandllc.com/shop. The name of the book is Editor Knows Best. So again, if you're either an aspiring editor or you're an author who wants to know more about editing, either because you want to do self-editing or just want to know what you'll be walking into when you work with an editor, you can download Editor Knows Best for free. It's a brief overview that outlines the types of editing and expectations, what to be prepared for and things like that. So I do encourage you to download that free resource. And I also have a podcast of the same name, Editor Knows Best. We are on hiatus for the summer. However, you can schedule an interview for the fall. So if you go on the website, you will see the option to schedule, starting in the fall. So I would love to have you. I interview authors and I also interview other editors. So if you fall into that category, you are welcome to apply to be a guest. If you'd like to hear a few of the episodes, you can visit anchor.fm/editor knows best.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you've heard it here first. If you are an African-American woman and you're looking to write a book and you want possibly be self-published or go to a publishing house, but you need an editor that gets your voice and that can support you and ensure that they're putting your voice out there as well as in a good grammatical, right wording flow, CaTyra is the lady for that job. If you're a business owner and you have some business type documents that you're looking to get some support around editorializing an online magazine, you have proposals or contracts or things like that that you need somebody to make sure that they're reviewing to ensure that your business is showing up in the light that you wanted to show up. Once again, that is Miss CaTyra. If you're an author or an editor and you want to be interviewed on her podcast coming up in the fall, make sure that you contact her, follow up with her, and get on her calendar. I plan to get on her calendar for the fall. So make sure that you do not miss this opportunity. Miss CaTyra, it has been a pleasure getting to know a little bit more about how you serve the business owners that you serve, as well as getting to learn a little bit more about you personally. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And as always, Parallel-Preneur Powerhouses, be profitable and be blessed. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.